Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video, and today we finna react to the year 2K was unstoppable, and he's talking about 2K8. I highly disagree. I don't think this was the year 2K was unstoppable. I think this was the year where the changing of the guard happened, though. This is definitely the year where the changing of the guard happened because people were fed up with EA and NBA Live by this point. I do think this was the year where EA took that big step down and 2K took a big step forward. But I wouldn't say this was the year they became unstoppable. This is just where the changing of the guard happened. This is where EA fell off, and this is where 2K ascended. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this.
College Hoops 2K8 is the greatest college basketball game ever made. NHL 2K8 is, in my opinion, the greatest NHL video game ever made. All Pro Football 2K8 is still the best playing American football video game ever made. I covered all of those games, and yet somehow I've never talked about 2K's flagship game from that year, NBA 2K8.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all too. 2K8 was not that impressive. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got 2K8 for Christmas. I got 2K8 for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie to you. I rarely touched this game. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I rarely touched NBA 2K8. I think I touched that shit about probably about 20 times throughout that whole year, bro. I did not touch 2K8 like that. It was cool. It was alright. It was better than NBA Live, but like I wasn't as impressed with it as everybody else was. Yes, the graphics were good, the gameplay was alright, but like I'm like, they ain't really doing nothing here. This is just 2K7 with updated graphics. This was I ain't gonna lie to you, this was the first year they did a copy and paste. This was the first year they did a copy and paste, but they added a whole bunch of animations. That's the only thing I can't give them. They added a bunch of animations. There was more contact animations. There were more defense animations. That's what I will say. But other than that though, 2K8 really wasn't that impressive. This was a copy and paste game.
Which might be the most underrated NBA 2K title ever released.
I ain't gonna lie to you, even though it's a copy and paste game, it still had like, it felt stripped down from 2K7. It felt like a stripped down version of 2K7, even though it had more animations and animations to add to the gameplay.
This was the year 2K was unstoppable. Even MLB 2K8, their weakest title that year, wasn't a bad game by any means and is one of the better games in that series. But their other titles were genuine masterpieces, still played to this day, and they saved their best work for their NBA game. On the back cover of NBA 2K8, it even says, "It's like that." 2 years prior, 2K had jumped to the Xbox 360 generation with the solid NBA 2K6, a game that took the PS2 era NBA 2K base and continued building upon it with improved graphics. This was a slow but safe approach to handling the next gen, and while EA's NBA Live had flashier graphics at first, they were missing that core depth and gameplay logic 2K had been building up for years. NBA 2K7 was another improvement to that formula, and 2K8 was when the game took a genuine next step, delivering gameplay, graphics, depth, and presentation that blew away anything 2K had done before. Even compared to NBA 2K26, there's a surprising amount of features and game modes found in 2K8 that you don't see in today's game, and the total package here is deep, polished, and immersive, resulting in an excellent offline NBA sim even today, especially if you want to experience the late 2000s era of basketball. NBA Live 08 was a joke compared to this game, and while College Hoops 2K8 and All Pro Football 2K8 are remembered more today, NBA 2K8 is a very important game in its own right. It exists between the old and new eras of 2K, bridging the eras together. This was the cherry on top of 2K's year of complete dominance in the sports genre, back when 2K was setting the standard for everyone else, back before the series even hit its prime. NBA 2K8 was a masterpiece, overshadowed by all the masterpieces that would follow it, and it deserves more recognition. Coming from NBA 2K7, this game took steps forward in nearly every possible category.
I doubt that.
Graphics and visuals are improved, and while 2K7 added signature jump shots for star players, 2K8 added signature style animations, which include layups, crossovers, flashy passes, and dunks. This made players look and play like their real-life counterpart more than ever before. On the PS2 games, most players felt the same to control outside of their ratings. And as we know today, almost every player feels different in modern NBA 2K. This game was a massive step towards that evolution. You know how today Blacktop is a throwaway offline mode in NBA 2K26? In NBA 2K8, Blacktop was in its prime, featuring multiple modes within Blacktop. The Sprite Dunk Contest is the most notable one. You pick 4 players and either control them or have the CPU control them, and then you get an outdoor dunk contest.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the thing I played the most. This is the thing I played the most was they dunk contest in a street mode. I played they street mode and they dunk contest more than anything. Like I said, this was a game that I honestly skipped over. Because once Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, it was over for 2K8.
Contest on the Blacktop with an MC hosting, judges, a crowd, everything. It's not exactly like the dunk contest during the All-Star Weekend in NBA Live 05, for example, but it was the closest 2K had ever gotten at that point. You could set props and then do a combination of moves with the right stick, followed by timing an R2 press to dunk, with essentially every type of dunk you could imagine possible. There's another mode here called Dunk School, which lets you pick a player and practice dunks for the main mode. It's a hilarious and fun way to play something quick with friends over. 21 was another cool mode found in Blacktop where 3 players each pick a player and then face off. This actually solves a common problem I have, where 2 friends come over and we take turns playing Blacktop on the latest 2K, the winner playing the other player. Alternatively, we play with 1 player alone, the other 2 on the other team. But 21, as it is in 2K8, lets 3 players all play for themselves. And it's such a simple little mode, I know it would be easy for 2K to bring it back, but instead it's part of the growing list of features 2K has removed over the years. There was also a 3-point contest with up to 4 players, which was pretty traditional with the racks with money balls at the end, and pickup games are the only part of the old Blacktop still found in modern 2K. This is where you play the ringers versus ballers game of 1v1 to 5v5. The Blacktop court itself was such a vibe back then. It looked used, worn in, alive. It's cozy, like a court I'd actually hoop at. There's no distracting drones or commentary, teams are very obvious and easy to distinguish between, and the overall design has obvious effort put into it. Blacktop was the best mode for some quick action with friends, and you could actually play these Blacktop modes online too back then. Today the servers are down, and it's got me wishing modern NBA 2K games had these modes. Imagine joining a lobby with friends and running through a playlist of different Blacktop events like Dunk Contest, 21, 3-point shootout, etc. with a leaderboard. But modern 2K...
You know what they possibly might do? They might implement all this shit into My Career, make you pay for it. I feel like that's what 2K gonna do, bruh. They gonna take all this shit and be like, let's make more money with this. Let's allow players to jump into Blacktop and all this other stuff, but you gotta go online and play for it. Y'all remember what was it? 2K14, 2K15, 2K13, where if you wanted to play Blacktop with the fucking with the star player of each team, or like the star player of certain eras, you had to pay VC to have them. Remember that? Yeah, that's what they gonna do here. They're going to do it again. Watch.
I would prefer you visit the park and pay to upgrade your 60 overall My Player. So free online modes where you can pick any player like this are no longer a thing. The depth didn't stop there. The association mode is the My League or Dynasty mode here, and it's incredible, genuinely. First, when setting up the mode, you could pick up to 8 players. It was offline, so this meant if you shared your console with family members or roommates, you could all manage a different team within the same league. I'd imagine that this wasn't very common, but I bet those who took advantage of the feature appreciated it. You don't see this option in most modern sports games. You'll notice when picking your team that each owner is generic, but their picture looks pretty realistic. The game uses a really well done method of creating unique faces for coaches, owners, and players, almost like they're AI generated despite being from 2007. A major focus of association mode back then was managing your player personalities. You gave every player on your team a role and a secondary role. For example, for the Nets we give Vince Carter the starter role with a secondary role of being our star player. Other roles include sixth man, role player, and more. If you fail to honor a player's role, they'll get upset and disrupt your team, and the game does this by lowering his ratings and by penalizing your entire team's chemistry rating every day.
Damn.
This makes a player with a mismatched role a genuine locker room distraction, and you either need to trade them away or give them what they want. Star players are harder to please, and this system keeps association mode fun and fresh as you manage your personalities. The default homepage in the mode is called Sim Central. This shows upcoming games that week, standings, team, player and league stats, records, chemistry rating, cap space injuries, and a recap of the last 3 games all at a quick glance. For some players who want a more simple experience, this is the only screen they'll really ever visit, and they'll play through their games here. You can push in the left stick to see a daily view of all games, and even watch or play games that your team isn't in. The mode expands into far more detail if you want it to. Like all 2K games that year, the menu navigation was persistent across all game modes, with the flick of the right stick. Some hated it, and it's a little weird, but I'm used to it as someone who's played a ton of All Pro Football 2K8. So when you flick the right stick here, you get more options, such as a calendar view showing a month-to-month view of upcoming games and events. There are emails you can read from an old Sidekick phone, giving updates on injuries from team trainers, league transactions like trades and other news. Speaking of trades, there's actually 3 team trades in this game in 2007, and when signing a player, you can customize their contract length and the contract structure by front or back loading the contract and changing the percentage. There's even a team option and a trade clause option too. On top of all of that, when signing a player, you offer them their role and their sub role on your team when pitching the offer, which adds a lot to the mechanic. Compared to NBA Live 08, 2K was on another level with their franchise mode. There were even goals throughout a season that would earn you reward points that you could spend in training camp to upgrade your player ratings. And get this, when scouting rookies prior to the draft, you could actually work them out and play the workouts. So if you like 2 prospects but can't choose between them, you could play a scrimmage with both of them and see who feels better to you with the controller. You can even play rookies against players currently on your team and see how they stack up against NBA talent that you're familiar with. The depth here is nuts for 2007. Other game modes included the Rookie Challenge, which was just a quick game of the rookies and sophomores from that year from the All-Star Weekend, and Situation Mode, a favorite of mine that used to be in every sports game and is now found in 0 of them. See here, I can create a scenario like this buzzer beater opportunity or something that happens in real life you want to create, and then you jump in and play it. It's a fun way to make the game feel more like a sandbox or a sim than an online business, but it seems 2K is more interested in the latter than the former these days. The other game modes were season, playoffs, and practice. As deep as this game was, my career wouldn't become a mode until 2K10, so there is no career mode here. This game's all about association. Gameplay was fantastic in 2K8. The new signature style animations combined with the new foot planting tech resulted in the cleanest looking gameplay 2K had ever had up to that point. If you've played College Hoops 2K8, the gameplay here is very similar, just more tailored to the star-focused NBA game. Even compared to modern 2K, gameplay feels more precise and controlled. It won't be as pretty in terms of animations, but you won't see players sliding into them as frequently. It's more physics-based. Some of the dunks and passes do look incredible even today, while other animations look dated. It's a mixed bag for 2026 standards, but it's as good as it gets for 07. Lock-on defense was introduced and got some criticism for making defending too easy, which is something 2K9 would clean up. But if you're someone who has never been great at defending in basketball games, and you want clean and polished gameplay from a classic NBA era, this is one of the best NBA games you can buy even today. In terms of presentation, the game is efficient, quick, and snappy. This is one of the more polished 2Ks I've played. Loading times are fast, everything feels connected, in comparison to 2K26's thrown together vibe. When loading into a game, there's even trivia on the loading screen. Commentary from Kevin Harlan, Kenny Smith, and Craig Cigar is solid throughout games, although Kenny talks a lot more than Craig, who you'll forget is even there. And they also do the halftime show, which shows a studio background render as a background while displaying stats and overlays. There's no separate crew for halftime yet. The post-game show goes over player of the game, top 3 plays, hot zones, and signature highlights, but there's no post-game interview or anything like that. In-game replays are frequent and do look nice, such as this LeBron dunk replay, and the crowd is pretty dynamic and responsive. Graphically, the game looks almost identical to College Hoops 2K8, just with NBA players and arenas. The arena lighting is really well done, and the court reflections look great. Jersey fabric moves naturally, and while player faces aren't realistic yet, from the 2K camera angle, the game looks really good even today. The score bug is nice too. It leaves room for stats and updates on the right, like 2K26's, but the actual score is more centered and easier to quickly find. Overall, presentation is alright, but compared to what 2K was doing in older titles, it was a bit underwhelming in this title, but of course 2K would overhaul presentation a few years later, and it's still a strength here. Every game ending in 2K8 is worth your time, from the incredible gameplay and animations of All Pro Football 2K8, to the deepest college basketball experience ever in College Hoops 2K8, to the best gameplay in Dynasty mode of any NHL game, even today in NHL 2K8. NBA 2K8 rounds off the list as a classic NBA title, one that would have more recognition today for how excellent it was, if not for the next few releases being even better. It's a victim of 2K's own success. With NBA 2K9 through 2K16, the game was only getting better and better each year. And with the series starting to stagnate and even regress in recent years, there's more value in 2K8 today than there used to be. If you want a polished, well put together NBA experience with fun gameplay, tons of game modes, and have it be fully offline or play locally with friends, this is a great choice. If you play a lot of College Hoops 2K8, this game gets even better too, because you can import your College Hoops draft classes into Association Mode here, continuing their careers into the NBA, which is an awesome feature. NBA 2K8 bridges the gap between old and prime 2K brilliantly, and while future releases would get even better and deeper, NBA 2K8 is still an incredible game today. This game is from a time when sports games were getting better and better and the sky was the limit. Online play was an added bonus, not a replacement for the entire game, and the effort and attention to detail found in this game is evident. Even the soundtrack goes above and beyond, providing artist biographies. Come on, man.
I ain't gonna lie. 2K8 soundtrack low-key underrated. Low-key 2K8 soundtrack is kind of underrated.
NBA 2K8 is a legendary game, and if NBA 2K9 through 16 didn't exist, it would easily be the greatest NBA game of all time. EA certainly never topped it with NBA Live. If I could only play one NBA game for the rest of my life and it was 2K8, I'd be pretty satisfied with that, man.
Hell no.
It's a great game. Thanks for watching.
Hell no. Hey, whoa, hey, whoa, hey. Go back. Hell no. Y'all, hey, Soft Drink TV. You said if this was, hell no. That last statement you said, matter of fact, say that one more time for me, sir.
With that, man. It's a great rest of my life, and it was too NBA Live. If I could only play one NBA game for the rest of my life and it was 2K8, I'd be pretty satisfied with that, man. It's
Hell no.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Oh, he's 81.
He's 81.
Hell no.
When CM Punk lost to The Rock,
Hell no.